Hello and welcome to another Lightroom quick edit, the format where I edit a snapshot and turn it into the best possible pictures within just about 5 minutes. So another winter scene, really just went for a little bit of a different angle. I think it turned out okay, nothing great, but you know, this is why it is in a quick edit and not in a full edit. So let's get started. First thing, definitely bring up the shadows. Doesn't have too big of an impact in this case. Then I'm just gonna bring down the highlights, especially in the sky in the background. You definitely see the difference, and I think the overall exposure is a little bit too dark. I like the kind of darkish mood here, but I'm still gonna raise the exposure, and I think that looks a lot better before and after the exposure adjustment. Then blacks, I'm gonna bring down my blacks a little bit and bring up my whites, of course, and as you can see there are some very small portions right here clipped. However, I think it is worth to take this little sacrifice in exchange for a better and more dynamic overall picture. Then let's quickly go to contrast, and let's see, I don't think I'm gonna add too much contrast. If I want to add any at all, maybe just a little bit, around 10. Clarity down here. I mean, this is a snow picture and I really don't like to go plus clarity with my snow pictures, so I'm actually just gonna leave that there and in fact take a graduated filter, drag it over the top portion of this guy right here, or rather the top portion of the picture, and even go minus clarity just so you get a more of a sense of depth, you know, from the sharp foreground with a lot of clarity going to the distant background with not so much clarity, and I really like that look. Then another thing that is very important is color temperature here, and I'm definitely gonna warm up that scene. I kinda like this bluish look for my winter pictures, but I really think for this particular photo bringing up the temperature works even better. So I think we have a pretty solid starting point. And speaking of Vibrance here, which would be my last slider in the basics adjustment, I'm just gonna see if I want to enhance any of the Vibrance, and I actually think I'm just gonna bring that up a little bit, even though it's not too big of a difference in this photo. So let's go down here to the Tonal Curve, of course, bring up the highlights and just play around with the rest of these adjustments and just see what works best. And shadows, maybe bring down the shadows a little bit before the tonal curve adjustments and after. So because this is a 5-minute quick edit, I'm really not gonna do any more global adjustments, otherwise I really would take away too much time. But I am going to grab another graduated filter in fact, and just bring it over the bottom left portion right here and bring down the exposure even more, just so we get a sense of closing out the picture and, you know, get a sense of more dynamic and more exposure differentiation. Then I'm gonna grab another graduated filter. You surely know that I really like graduated filters, and this time drag it over pretty much the sky portion, and the reason I'm doing that is just to bring up the exposure and to kind of enhance the lighting scheme even more. So here would be before any graduated filters, and here's after. Just makes everything a little bit more interesting. Let me go down here to the lens corrections, just go on color and remove chromatic aberration. This is something I usually don't do in my regular quick edits, but I really just saw a lot of green fringing in these branches right here, so that's nice that it's removed. And the last thing that I wanted to mention previously is just to add some dodge and burning. I'm gonna add some radial filters with plus and negative exposure, so as always, see you in a second. Alright, so I've added quite a lot of radial filters. Here would be before any, and here is after. Really just complexifies the light. And that said, I really think I'm done here for this quick edit. Might have been a little bit more than 5 minutes, but I think the result from before, this is the raw file, and after the edited picture, I think it's pretty good. I might have done a little bit too much plus exposure with these radial filters right here, but yeah, I think I am done here. So once again, to the left is before and to the right is after. Thank you as always very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this and more in-depth tutorials as well. Have a great day. Until next episode, take care.